You climb mountains. You build skyscrapers. You make TV shows and put out newspapers. You were wicked good at doing stocks. You like it when Emilio would change his socks. We never hung out, and that makes me sad. All the good times we could have had. Nice rhyme. Oh, when I die, Uncle Preston, you better say cheers, because me and you are hanging at the pearly gates.
I'll bring the beers.
I'll bring the beers.
I'll bring the beers.
He's good.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the We'll See You Later podcast, episode 65 Chevy. I am your host, Jeremy. This is Willie Ray Portals.
People just call me asshole, and then this week, Jeremy has called me the idiot that forgot to ad read. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. Brought to you by Happy's Energy and Nutrition. The best energy and nutrition on this or any other damn planet. Not to be confused or forgotten ever again.
Yeah, that was an angry ad read.
You happy?
Angry ad.
You happy? I'm sorry.
Yeah, Will got fined last week. So he came in today with a peace offering. He brought me Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, and I'm poor. So like the fine actually literally we don't have groceries this week.
Yeah. I told him to eat air and ice chips.
And I still haven't lost any weight.
We're glad to be back.
It was a fun weekend.
It sure was. We're going to do a little recap. Last week here on our betting, I started 0-6 and Willie Ray goes 3-3 on
Say
week
that again.
1.
I started what?
Ofer? I didn't finish Ofer, I tell you that. Lady Luck was on my side last week. I go 5-1.
Couldn't go 6-0.
I couldn't because of Michigan. But 5-1. Will goes 2-4. We're tied, baby, at 5-7 overall.
All it took was one trip to Starkville to turn this whole thing around
Showed
for
up.
Arizona State. Thanks, bums.
Willie does pick Ole Miss to beat Kentucky, and he picked Illinois over Duke. His upset, Iowa, that counts for 2 points, did not happen. But my upset for Mississippi State did happen. I was harping hardcore. I said Mississippi State upsets ASU, long travel, cowbell, cheating, all that situation.
It is cheating. It is.
All that.
It's 100% cheating. Do we want to go into the fact that we actually Googled it during the game to figure out why they're able to do it?
Tradition.
They got grandfathered in, outlawed, and then lawed again. And then they actually have the audacity to put rules on it like those rules can be enforced.
I was told today by a UALR Trojan baseball player, center fielder, Michael. Not sure if he's listening just yet, but he subscribed. Why they do that? Do you know why they do the cowbell? It is a tradition because in the early stages of this school, they were playing in a game, and literally a cow went onto the field. And for them to get the cow off of the field, they cowbelled and it went off.
That tracks.
They went on to win the game and adopted the cowbell as the lucky charm. There's rules to this too. You can't buy your own. It has to be gifted to you or it's bad luck. Like you have to, someone has to buy that cowbell for you or it's
just,
a bad luck
pass
charm.
it down.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool because, that means somebody out there's probably got their great granddad's cowbell or something. It's like, what was it that
pregame?
The cowbells are prohibited once the center is over the ball.
Yeah.
Which means I heard a whole bunch of prohibited cowbelling
the whole game.
During the game, every game. Like, you just can't enforce it.
No, it said pregame, timeout, touchdowns, and halftime. They never stopped.
Which translates to every second.
Right. But Mississippi State goes on to beat Arizona State in one hell of a game.
Oh, it was amazing.
I thought Mississippi State was going to run away with it. 17-0.
You were talking some crazy shit, too. Let's not. You were crazy. You would have thought we hated each other the way you were going at me. Dude, do you have there's no money invested here.
It was for me. I think that's why I was more excited.
Yeah.
So great week for me. Also, Willie Ray and I with the new best bet of the week. If we would have parlayed it, and threw 100 down, we would have won us some money.
Yeah, we tried to tell y'all.
I also sprinkled in the money line on this one, but Will goes for his best bet was Arkansas minus 23. They dominated. And mine was USF plus 18. I also said you might want to sprinkle in a money line situation there because I had a feeling that Florida wasn't nothing but a name and a cool color scheme.
Yeah,
and we were correct.
I don't understand where this sudden confidence came from. I don't care how they closed the year last year. Billy Napier is exactly who you thought he was.
Mm-hmm.
His team is exactly who you would figure they would be. DJ Lagway, bless his heart, is vastly overrated.
Yeah.
South Florida's got some dogs.
Yes, they do.
Particularly on defense. This game was exactly what it needed to be for South Florida to pull the upset in the swamp. It needed to be ugly. It needed to be a rock fight. Florida was 18-point favorites and only scored 16.
We knew that they were going to be in this game because Florida's overlooking. They have LSU this week, and Florida at home looked terrible, and South Florida looked physical.
Florida absolutely self-imploded on that last possession for South Florida.
Spitting on people,
getting ejected, penalty after penalty, just imploded. And that goes back to the culture of your program.
Yep.
Discipline.
We got them game 1 this week. Number now 18 South Florida, which I hate because I think they should be preseason rankings to me are the stupidest thing ever. I don't think rankings should come out till after week 1, and it should just be body of work of what you've done. There's only one team in the country, Will, that has knocked off 2 top 25s this year, and it is the USF Bulls.
They have an opportunity to go 3 for 3 this week is huge because Miami has slipped into the top 5 now.
Sure have.
And people are saying the U's all the way back. Well,
they're going to be tested.
We'll find out, yeah, because South Florida doesn't have the benefit of sneaking up on Miami now.
No, South Florida, 18 now in the country. I think they should be a lot higher, but they have not left this state, and they're putting their mark all over it. At home, in Gainesville, can they do it in Miami this weekend?
This has an opportunity to get extremely chippy because South Florida and Miami, right there next to each other, you know, probably a good chunk of South Florida's kids wanted to go to Miami. It has a chance to get really chippy, and I'm here for all of it, really.
It does, and this is that spread again. This is Miami at 17.5 on this Monday. That might move around a little bit. I'm thinking, as much as I want South Florida to continue this amazing run, I think that this is the speed bump. I think Carson Beck, they're actually running into someone with a quarterback.
Yeah, I think it's a different animal that you're not going to sneak up on. You're not going to sneak up on anybody this week. Miami knows full well they got to bring it this week. You got a top 20 team coming in there. All of a sudden, it's a marquee matchup.
Yeah.
I could see Miami rolling here. I could, just because I don't think the surprise factor is a factor anymore.
Right. I just can see this is either going to be super ugly in 2 different ways. Super ugly as in Miami rolls it, or super ugly as in the game looks like boo-boo. Miami doesn't want to get in this rock fight with USF.
Yeah, that's the way USF has to have it in order to win the game. They have to muck it up and make it as ugly as possible.
Yeah, it's got to be some turnovers. We've got to have some drop passes. We're going to have some big sacks happening. Just anything and everything they can do. Penalties. You know, South Florida needs some more of that magic. I just don't see it with a Carson Beck led offense. Yeah. So both Willie and I have decided to go with Miami this week, but don't be afraid.
I'm not afraid to lose that one. I'll openly be pulling for South Florida.
Yeah,
I'm not afraid to lose.
I'm hoping that they beat the spread and that it stays like 10-13 away, but we'll see. Game 2, number 16 Texas A&M travels to now number 8 Notre Dame. Notre Dame's laying 6.5. Notre Dame goes 0-1 against Miami, 24-27, and not a great looking game. Has a bye week, and now they're coming off their bye week and they get A&M at home. What are we thinking?
You're in South Bend. I think that's the difference here. If it was in Kyle Field, if it was at Kyle Field, I'd be taking A&M.
Yeah, I think that that's the only thing that gets them. I think that it's a low scoring kind of game.
Yeah, I'm not impressed by either offense.
And so I'm rolling Notre Dame as well here. An interesting one today, this coming week. Vandy at number 11, South Carolina. South Carolina right now only laying 5.5 points. And I think that this is atrocious.
Stats wise, Vandy is being very disrespected when you look into the numbers.
Vandy has dominated their nobody in week 1. South Carolina beats Virginia Tech 24-11 at home and needed special teams to really extend that lead. And it was an ugly game. South Carolina just beats their cupcake team 38-10. Vandy played at Virginia Tech. That same Virginia Tech that South Carolina struggled with week 1. Vandy traveled to there, wins 44-20, and outgained that Virginia Tech team on their home field by 300 in the second half. This Vandy team is for real right now.
Yeah, if you put their stats, their first 2 weeks, if you put like a brand name next to that, where do you think they'd be if that was Colorado next to those numbers?
It'd be a top 10 team.
Right. They would run them up to the top 10, right? I just think because it's Vanderbilt, they're being disrespected because it just feels like that's what you do.
Yeah. You look at it and everybody, we just sweep it under the rug that it's Vandy. 5.5 points is not a lot.
No, it's a
for
touchdown.
number 11 in the country on their home field.
Yeah, it's a touchdown.
So the committee knows that this is going to be a great game between the 11th best team in the country and a nobody Vandy on the road, but you won't rank Vandy. This should be a ranked match. This is my upset of the week. Vandy beats them. I think Vandy embarrasses them here. I believe in Vandy this week.
Yeah, it's not that I don't. It's that we're head to head here and kind of have to get some headway just by disagreeing with each other. I'll go ahead and take South Carolina and go with Sellers. Just because I know Pavia can keep Vandy in games.
Yeah.
And he will. I just don't know if that defense can stop a top flight quarterback the way that Sellers is. It's popcorn ready.
This is my moment to say, just like we did last week, Vandy wins this game. They're in the top 25. Vandy wins this game. I think they're in the top 20. Number 6, Georgia, 3.5 point favorites at number 15, Tennessee. Willie Ray, talk to me.
Georgia has been, you didn't learn anything about Georgia in these first 2 weeks. I thought they looked less impressive than expected against Austin Peay last week. Give me the Vols. Like, you're going to Knoxville. It's going to be the 2:30 game, so it's going to be a marquee matchup on national TV on ABC. That place will have 110,000 people in it. Give me the Vols here.
Okay. I agree that Georgia does not look great. But Tennessee has played at home and at home. Week 1 was Syracuse came to Tennessee, and they won 45-26. Week 2, ETSU comes in, and they just won 72-17. Tennessee's going to score. I get that. I don't think they're going to be able to put up near as much against the Georgia defense.
That's fair.
But I also think, looking at these numbers, and yeah, they're not crazy. Like ETSU scores 17, but Syracuse putting up 26. I'm thinking Georgia can offensively much better than both of those teams.
Yeah.
So I think Georgia is going to be able to answer anything that Tennessee throws, and I trust Georgia's defense more than I trust Tennessee's defense.
If you can take the air out of the ball, keep the best defense against Tennessee's offense is keeping them on the sideline.
Yeah.
So if you can run the ball and dominate the line of scrimmage, then Georgia's going to win the game.
And so with that, I am picking Georgia. I think that this is their moment to flex and say we're still the big dogs around here.
Which could very well happen.
I go Georgia, you go Tennessee here, and a little bit of an upset, but that is not your upset of the week. Will, we're going to go into our final game, the one that matters most, the one that why the people are here. Arkansas travels to number 17, Ole Miss. Ole Miss is favored by 9.5.
And that's gone down. It came out at 10. I don't see where they're getting that.
Me neither.
Ole Miss did get a win on the road in the SEC this past week. I don't think that that's going to get more impressive as the year goes on because I don't think Kentucky's very good.
Me neither.
Of note, Austin Simmons goes down with an ankle injury. the starting quarterback for Ole Miss, didn't finish the game. Lane Kiffin is on record after the game saying that Austin Simmons could have come back and finished the game, but they didn't want to. They had a package in place for the backup. Yeah, right. In a one-score game, if your starting quarterback could come back in, he'd be back in.
Right.
So that's gamesmanship there. I don't buy that. If he plays, he's gimped up, Jeremy. When they helped him off the field, he was putting no weight on that foot. So what looked like a sprained ankle to me, that's not nothing. Whether he plays or not, that's not nothing.
Right. Also, looking at Simmons, he rushes the ball as a quarterback 8 times for 44 yards and a touchdown. He was 13 of 24 for 235 and 2 interceptions
And
up into that point.
Those 2 interceptions were bad.
So
not that they're ever good interceptions, but I mean bad. Just throwing the ball into traffic. Ole Miss, the one thing they do differently this year that they haven't done in years past, they can get downhill and run the football.
that's all they got.
Lacey, their running back, is a stud. They can get downhill and run the football, but they have to get downhill and run the football, as opposed to, you think of a Lane Kiffin team, you think up tempo, nickel and dime, maybe play action, take some deep shots. That's not this team. Austin Simmons should not beat you. He shouldn't.
No, it's Lacey that makes him go. 28 carries for 140 yards and a touchdown. I'm looking at stats here between Talon and Simmons and Washington and Lacey. Also, Harrison Wallace, 4 catches, 117 yards for them in this past week. But looking here, Simmons in their 2 games goes 33 of 55 for 3 touchdowns and 4 picks for 576 total yards. Taylon Green, 41 of 57 for 10 touchdowns, 2 picks for almost the same yardage. The big difference here, Washington for us, 18 carries and 1 touchdown. Lacey, 44 touches for 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, and it's also got to do with the quality of competition too. Like Mike Washington wasn't going to get a bunch of carries in these first 2 games.
No.
I just don't think Austin Simmons is a guy that's going to beat you by himself. Whereas in past years, they've had the Matt Corral, they've had guys like that. And
Dart.
Yeah, they've had Matt Corral, Jackson Dart. I don't think they have that guy.
No.
I don't think they have that guy that's going to – you have to stack the box and stop the run. The only thing that gives me pause is I know that Arkansas has depth issues up front on the defensive line.
Yeah.
So
and that secondary is still suspect.
So are you going to get leaned on as the game goes on? You can't let that rushing attack get going because they'll just lean on you. But people are going to look at me and say, he's decked out in Arkansas gear. His best bet was an Arkansas pick last week. Never mind the fact that I nailed it, got it right. But this is my upset of the week. Arkansas goes into Oxford, beats Ole Miss, beats an overrated Ole Miss team, and maybe sneaks into the back end of that top 25.
Ooh.
Who knows?
Why not?
If not, they will when they go to Memphis and beat Memphis next week.
Yeah, be 4-0.
They'll want a top 25 matchup, assuming Notre Dame takes care of business. They'll want a top 25 matchup in a couple of weeks in Fayetteville when Notre Dame comes in. They'll want that to be a ranked matchup.
Right. This isn't my upset of the week. I agree. And it's because of what Sam Pittman said in his presser. We have Taylon Green and they don't. I'm this week going to believe that Taylon will carry this win and Simmons, if he plays, will lose it.
I just think all the elements are there for Arkansas to go into Oxford and get a win. You brought up Taylon Green, and rightfully so. But I think what we haven't seen these first 2 weeks, because the games have been so lopsided, is that Arkansas also has the ability to turn around and hand the ball off to the bell cow and eat a little clock themselves when they need to.
Mm-hmm.
Arkansas is able to run the ball. I think Mike Washington's a big play waiting to happen.
Every time.
He just is.
Him and Omega Blake.
He is a real, Mike Washington's a really good running back. And we just have seen the big plays because of the caliber of defense that we've played. I think that we're going to benefit from being able to turn around and hand the ball off. All they're going to get out of film is that we got to control Taylon Green. Well, what do you do when you're trying to contain Taylon Green and they also have a running game that you have to worry about?
Right.
I see play action being a big play possibility this week, where it's, pound the rock a little bit, and then you get them on 2nd and 3, and it's play fake and go over the top. I think the run game comes up big this week as far as control the pace of the game.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. I don't think Austin Simmons can beat you on his own, but he damn sure can if he's standing on the sideline. If a Lane Kiffin offense is on the sideline, they can't hurt you.
Right.
So control the clock.
Right. Both of us do have 2 upsets. We both have Arkansas. You've declared that as your upset of the week. You also have Tennessee on the back end with an upset. I have Vandy. And we're going to go into the best bets of the week. We're 2-0. Arkansas minus 23 last week. South Florida plus 18 this week. Best bet of the week for me this week is that Vandy line at Vandy plus 5.5. Pound that, because I think that Vandy beats South Carolina.
I'm going to go ahead and ride the wave with South Florida.
Okay.
Not to win it, but to cover. I'm just going off of last week. It was a similar point spread, and I just think they're going to compete against anybody.
Yeah.
And I think they show this week that it hasn't really been about sneaking up on people. They're just that good.
Right.
So give me the Bulls to cover.
On another note, go Bills.
That was go ahead.
I'm just go Bills. I mean, what a game last night.
Yeah.
And the game, I mean, I know we're in a short stint so far, week 1. Possible game of the year.
That's what I was going to say is the first Sunday night game of the year. And it's going to be hard to find one that good.
Unreal. Buffalo goes absolute bananas in the 4th quarter.
I would hope that if that field goal had stoinked off the upright, or if something had happened where Buffalo had come up short, you'd still be in here feeling good about your team, because that was 2 great football teams last night.
I'd have felt bad because my parlay didn't hit 1-260.
So you need to enunciate that a little bit better. You said you would have felt bad because your parlay wouldn't have hit, but it did hit.
Oh yeah, 8-leg parlay hit. That the fine folks at Bet Saracen.
Not a sponsor, but could be.
Yes, and maybe a future employer. But yes, I did an 8-leg parlay, which sounds crazy, but I've got a little method to my madness. And the hardest 2 games were going to be the NFL ones, because that's a tough gig. I picked Cincinnati to win and Buffalo to win to finish out the leg, and Buffalo with 3 seconds left. If you watch that field goal again, Will, the right up back facing you would be on your left side, chose the outside guy and actually gave Hamilton a clear shot to block that field goal.
Part of it looked weird, and I couldn't figure out why. That was it.
Hamilton doesn't shoot the gap fast enough. He took his step and then realized, and then he kind of jumped at it. And if you watch him after the kick, if you follow him, he puts his hands on his head because he knew, I think if he would have dove just gave a little bit of an extra effort at the start, he might have got a block. All right, so that's going to do it here for episode 65 Chevy, brought to you by Happy's Energy and Nutrition. Thank you guys so much for tuning in with us. Next week, I think we bring back Story Time, so get ready for the September edition of Story Time with Willie and Jeremy. 3 things to live by, guys, before you get out of here. Number 1, go Bills. Number 2, Hogs by
1 or 1 million, doesn't matter.
There it is.
Gets a dub.
And third,
I don't think before we get, it's Ole Miss hate week.
yes,
Hell with them.
to hell.
Hell with them. Hotty toddy, gosh almighty, when's Ole Miss going to beat somebody? Not this week.
And 3, probably the most important, Will. What should you never, ever trust?
Jeremy Wilson.
That's rude. I won you money last week if you would have trusted me.
You're feeling really good, which I would be too if I came out of the first week with no wins.
And then went on a heater.
Yeah.
Never, ever, ever trust a fart.
A fart or a fat?
A fart.
Okay.
And until next time, guys.
We will see you later.